Did you crack my baby's head?
Yeah. Galir just died.
Fuck, wizard. For once.
Hey, you know. Fuck up. Mike!
Kill him!
Shit sits in my bones and I feel it.
Ooh. Look, and I already fucked it up, see? Look at that. Whoop whoop. Welcome back to LHRPG, where Lil Nitro always fucks it up right off the bat. I'm sat here today with my protege, aka Dorian. And so, basically, I've been hearing all through the UbiTubies about these 44 house rules that somebody posted on Reddit, right? Like, the OG post got deleted, I guess, but basically somebody put a post on Reddit where they said our DM took a hiatus for like a couple months or some shit, and then came back with this list of house rules. And this is that list. And basically we're going to go through them and give our thoughts. Sound cool?
Yep.
We're going to talk about this shit and see just how crazy it actually is. Stick around to the end. We got a big announcement coming your way. What were we just doing?
Oh.
Yeah. So, go ahead and make sure you like and subscribe and share and all that good shit. And we're going to go ahead and get into it. Alright, number 1. I'm timing turns. I don't give a fuck if it's unfair in your opinion, because your spells are hard and you don't know what square to move to. You get 1 minute to know all the actions you want to take, or I skip your turn. What do we think about that?
What if the players knew?
That was my first thought. Yeah, like, I don't remember all of what's in here, but I watched Bob Worldbuilder go over these, right?
He's not gonna want to come
I'm
back.
familiar a little bit with how crazy this shit gets, but the further we go into it, the more you're gonna start to act like, wait a minute, dude, what the fuck did you do to your DM to make him do this? Right? Here's my thing. I time turns.
Yeah.
But I don't have like a set thing. Basically what we do, and I don't skip your turn either.
Yeah.
What we do is, if we're sitting here at the table waiting around for like 3 to 5 minutes for one person to take their turn because they can't decide what they do, I have a little sand timer. A little 30-second sand timer that I put out on the table. And if you don't decide what you're wanting to do on your turn by the time that timer's run out, I just declare you're dodging for that turn.
Yeah.
But that's as crazy as that gets. And that's as far as I would ever take that. I wouldn't skip your turn, and I wouldn't be like, all right, it's your turn, 60 seconds, what are you doing? You're putting too much pressure on them. Especially, like you mentioned, spellcasters, bro. Do you know how fucking difficult it is to run a spellcaster?
That's why I don't like to run them.
There's a lot of shit you gotta learn. Yeah, he pretty consistently just plays martial classes for the most part. Alright, number 2. If you want harder fights, bring a second character sheet and expect to twiddle your thumbs when you die. I'm not going to baby anyone. That's rude. Like, I always make it clear that death is always a possibility, and so having a backup character might not be a bad idea, but I wouldn't be, no. And normally, if you do die, I try to bring the new character in as quickly as possible. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this one? I'm guessing some of the players might have been complaining about the fights being too
hard.
easy,
And
so
they die.
he's overcorrecting
Yeah.
and trying to make it so fucking brutal that you need a backup character.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, he's not gonna bring in that
Yeah,
backup character.
That's
Like,
just pretty stupid.
what? What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments. Get in the comments. All right. Number 3. Here's where it starts to get petty. Are you ready?
Yeah.
If you call me or my roles unfair, I'll get up and go home. And if you got a ride with me, you can find your own way back and suck it up. So, like, you can't question authority at all with this guy.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, is he just a petty asshole that can't take criticism?
Or players are bad players. Yeah.
Or is it that he's so used to every time he makes a call, someone tries to challenge it? Which, that would get on my fucking nerves, too. But I think... Alright. I'm going to go ahead and put this out there before we get any further. And we're going to see how it holds up by the end. I think this DM needs to find some new players. And these players need to find a new DM. Someone that gels better with them.
Yeah.
And that would alleviate a lot of this, I think. Alright, number 4. I'm going to take your character's loot away as regularly as you want it given out. Rule 3 will apply here. So, like, you want loot? I'm just going to take your loot, and you better not complain about it, or I'll go home.
What if you have pretty good loot?
He doesn't get this dude. That's a bitch move. Why would you do that?
Yeah, makes no sense.
Like, we've had characters lose important loot items that they found.
But just not
but
taken away.
It made sense with the story, like it was destroyed or stolen or, you know, something like that. But it was for the sake of the plot.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. Number 5. This one is another one of the, it's kind of like number 1 where I can kind of get on board, but you know what I mean? I'll show you here in a sec. If you don't act out any of your persuasion or intimidation or any other social checks, you fail before you even roll. You fail immediately because you aren't even trying and you're making the game lame for everyone else. Before I jump in here, what do you think about that one?
Wait, which one are you reading? I was
5.
reading that one.
If you don't act out social checks, you fail before you roll.
Talk about what are social checks?
Like persuasion, intimidation.
Why wouldn't you not act them out?
Here's where I'm at on that. I agree. I like to encourage my players to role play their social shit. But number 1, there's a lot of players who aren't comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And number 2, just because one person's not totally in character 100% of the time does not mean they're making the game quote unquote lame for everyone else. Okay? Yeah. Now, here's what I do is because do you force your fucking martial classes to act out their athletics checks when they want to lift a boulder? No, you don't. You rely on the dice. So what I do is I do both. I'll have them roll, and depending on what that roll is, I will let them tailor their RP to fit the role. So if they fail, they can make up some ridiculous ass thing they say to make it funny. And if they pass, they can think up some real nice, good sounding shit to say. But it's all based on the roll of the dice. Yeah. And auto-failing someone for not being comfortable with roleplay is just fucked up in my opinion. You shouldn't be a game master. I am so cut off here. There we go. Alright. Number 6. If you don't pick up cues for side quests, that's not my problem. Get over yourself. It's not a video game. It's a role-playing, pen and paper-based game with miniatures. I'm not holding your hand if you choose not to pursue shit.
What if you don't like find?
Okay, I'm kind of on board with this one. Okay, because side quests are not really necessary for the campaign. If they pick up on them and want to go on them, that's great.
Yeah.
It gives us extra game time, but it's not necessary to the point of the plot. Now, when it comes to like clues that are important to the plot and you don't pick up on them, normally what I do in that case is just move the clue somewhere else so you can pick it up later.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm on board with that. Side quests, yeah, they're not necessary. They're fun if you want them, but if you don't come across them, you just missed out. And I prepped a bunch of shit for no reason, so it's a lose-lose scenario. And hell, half the time, once we wrap up a game, like if it's a campaign, I don't do it till the end. But like one shot at the end of the set, I'll be like, yeah, we missed this, and they'll be like, oh, yeah. But I can get on board with that one, I think. If it's just side quests.
Yeah.
Like, that's all he said. So, 7. If you move to a square in combat, there's no takebacks. I'm with this one to an extent. That's normally how we do, like, car like car play type beat.
Yeah,
Once you move, you're there.
Yeah, you can't just switch back. Yeah.
However, there is exceptions to every rule. So, like, in the event that a player misunderstands an ability or something, and they're trying to do something, and then I explain that's not how that works, and it would have been detrimental to their plan, and they're like, oh, in that case, I want to move over here and do this, then I will allow you to change. But if it's just a normal, I'm going to go up here and attack, yeah, once you take your hand off the mini, bro, there's your movement.
Yeah.
8. You tell every single person what you're doing before you do it. You don't fucking roll dice and then say you're casting fireball. You tell us all. No. Yes and no. You tell me what you're going to do before you roll the die. And then I will tell you what to roll, if a roll is necessary. You don't need to tell the rest of the players, because a lot of times players like to do secret actions.
Yeah.
And when that happens, normally they'll either text me or pass me a note or something. I'll reply with what to roll, and we'll do it that way. But yeah, I need to know as the game master, need to know what you're doing before you roll. And we have a rule where you don't roll until I tell you to roll anyway. But other than that, no. The other players don't need to know every fucking thing you're rolling for. That's not necessary. No. You think?
Yeah.
Alright, where are we at? 9. I will give out exhaustion more frequently. If you argue, go home, or
Did you skip one?
Nope, right here.
Okay.
If you argue, go home, or you can actually fight me over it. Or you can DM yourself. Okay, this is where a lot of people are not going to like my play style. I don't use exhaustion. I don't deal with exhaustion. I don't deal with encumbrance. Unless there's like a magical effect that deals out a level of exhaustion, then I'll do it as a condition. But as far as like weight encumbrance and shit, we don't track that. Normally they start if it's a long running campaign, they start every campaign with a bag of holding of some kind.
Yeah.
So we don't have to deal with that shit, because I deal with enough shit on my own, because a lot of the campaigns we play are based off of Dimension 20 campaigns.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Brandon Lee Mulligan and everybody at D20. Dropout.tv. Go check it out. So, where are we at here? Number 10. Every snide comment you make to an NPC will be remembered and paid back in triplicate. You all seem to believe there is little consequence. That's another one where I'm like on the fence. I'm like half left, half right, you know what I mean, type beat.
Yeah.
Because it's like, not every NPC is gonna remember shit. Like, there's stupid NPCs. But, and then the whole in triple, no. Like, they will get back the same energy they put out. It's a 1-for-1 basis. So, like, Yeah, if they're rude to all the NPCs, a handful of those
Yeah,
NPCs
I
are going to
bet.
hold a grudge and
Yeah.
try to pull some shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have consequences.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? The whole threefold shit.
What does that mean?
Like, if you're rude to like, say, you bump into an NPC on the street and don't acknowledge or
Yeah.
apologize, you just walk the fuck off. That means if he comes across you later, I don't know, he might push you in front of a carriage.
Why? What if you didn't mean to?
I know. The fact is, you just didn't apologize for it.
Stupid.
And so, paying you back triplicate would be the equivalent of pushing you in front of a moving carriage. Because it's 3 times as bad as what you did. That's a little excess in my book. Alright. Next page. I printed these fuckers out, y'all. We came prepared. We do this for you. Alright. You will not be given a mega dungeon every session. Fucking preach. A temple is not the size of a small city. Neither is a cave. This shit will happen when it's natural and organic. Go play some roguelike if you want that. Yeah, like, we very rarely do dungeon crawls because I'm the kind of person, like, if I'm prepping a game, I want it to have a really good story. I'm more about the story. And very few dungeon crawls have a compelling story arc. So, every once in a while, like, if we're just burnt out and we want a big hack and slash adventure, I'll tell them, hey, let's roll up some OP characters and do a dungeon crawl.
Yeah.
You know, where there's, like, little to no, there's just enough plot that it makes sense why you're in the dungeon, and that's it. It's like a real simple, go in there, kill everything, come back and get paid type beat. But, yeah, we don't do dungeon crawls very often. I don't find them very fun. Hazel, what are you doing? The cat jumped up on the mattress, y'all. You got anything before we move on? On a mega dungeon? No? Alright. The travel portion is done. You want travel? You want to travel continents doing literally whatever you want, whenever you want. Go play World of Warcraft or play D&D with AI.
Yeah, you ain't just gonna be able to travel and do everything in that when you're traveling.
I try to leave my shit open. We go to a lot of different locations. The only thing, like, I have a small amount of notes for every location that they could run into, but I only really plan on them running into, like, a handful that are important to the plot. If they choose to go these other places, they can. And there's been a few times where they've wanted to go places I hadn't prepped anything for. And I'm like, all right, we'll go. Just know I'm winging this shit because I have nothing. But, I mean, I understand what you're saying to an extent. Like, yeah, we got to stay on point and do the shit. I guess I'm just lucky enough to have players that want to stick to the meat of the story.
Yeah.
And not run off and do side quests. I don't know. I haven't had to worry about that too much. Man, it might also be because we have so many locations that are integral to the plot. You don't really need to venture off and see more shit because you're getting a good wide array of different terrain types and shit. Like, I think we did sophomore year. There was shit in town. There was shit in a forest. There was shit in a pirate city. There was shit in hell. Like, there's a good wide range of fucking locations. What's next? 13. If you're late with no good reason, who's that? Motherfucker. You can't cut this out. Always break his shit. Y'all see this shit?
No.
He's taking a call in the middle of a work day. No personal calls on the clock, boy. What Grammy say?
She was asking about um, something to do with what we're gonna be doing either on Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you're late for no good reason, I'm going to half your character's hit points for the entire session. What constitutes a good reason? Because I don't know about y'all, but we have a player. One of my favorite players, actually, is a really good RPer, but she's like consistently late to every session. But it's normally because of her mama. Here, scooch over some. You're cut off there. So I don't. You gotta give me some context for what constitutes no good reason. Like, who determines that? You? It's subjective, my friend. That's all I'm saying. And I don't, even if they're late, I don't know if you should have, if my players are so far late, like they know, we'll wait for X amount of time before we just start the fuck without you. And at that point, it'll be up to you to figure out how to catch up and get where everyone's at.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to half your shit. That's stupid.
Yeah.
If you don't show up for no good reason, and that will be determined by me alone. Okay, yeah, see, that's what I thought. If no one else has the guts to say shit for fear of upsetting one another, the first time you'll find yourself losing either a whole level or up to 3 major items you own. The second time you do it in a row, you will be removed from the chat and the group, full stop. I have no fucking time for people to not show up. This dude kind of sounds like a dick. So tell me, dude, what constitutes no good reason if you're the only person that can determine that shit?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like, people have lives, bitch. Okay, yeah, this one I might need to go on a little rant for. But before I do that, I'm gonna get your opinion on it. If you get too stoned or drunk to play, I will go home without a warning. Your warning is here. Actually, I'm not gonna rant yet. I'm gonna wait till after we read the next one, and then I'm gonna put them both together. Then I'll rant. Any thoughts on this before we go to the next one?
I don't gotta worry about that because I don't do either of those.
If you get up for bong or smoke or whatever breaks every 10 minutes, I will simply pack up and go home. I'm sick of waiting for every bloke to be at the table. Okay. What do you think?
It's probably saying that because the players probably get too too drunk or too high to play.
All right. This is all I'm gonna say, okay? I'm a stoner. I smoke a lot of weed. I also smoke cigarettes. If you're playing in my house, in my game room, you're just gonna fucking deal with the smoke. Sorry, not sorry. Like, I got my door cracked. I got the fan blowing out this way. So I'm nice. I'm not a complete asshole about it. You know? But you're at my fucking house. If I'm running your game, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be in my house. So you're going to deal with me fucking smoking. That's just how it is. If you don't like it, you can go the fuck home. If I come to play at your house, yes, I will follow your rules. But I'm pretty much a forever GM. So 99% of the time, if I'm running a game, the players are at my house. Deal with it. Rant over. Alright. Guidance, divination spells, owls, and whatever spells I decide are too fucking stupid are banned. Outright. No more fucking guidance. Why? Are you mad because your players keep finding creative ways to get around your obstacles? That's just a bitch rule. I don't care what the fuck happened in your campaign. That's a bitch rule.
What are considered stupid spells?
And it says anything he decides. It sounds like this dude's got some kind of complex. Like an authority complex or something. And he needs to get the fuck over it. Alright. Yeah, see, we're jumping on this bandwagon. A lot of people have covered this list, so we're just going to jump on that fucking bandwagon. You get one chance at a skill check. If you fuck up, your party doesn't get their chance to do the same check. Think carefully who's good at what. Okay, this is another one of those I can agree with to a certain extent. Like, nothing is more annoying than one player is looking for something, they roll, fail, I tell them they don't see nothing, and then every other body in the fucking party is like, ooh, can I look? Can I look? Because in my opinion, that is 100% metagaming. Because had that player passed the check and I said they didn't find anything, none of you would be asking to check. You're only doing it because you know they failed the roll. So that I can't fucking stand. However, a lot of my players have the same skills. So if one of them fails something and the other one has a legit reason for looking, I'm going to allow it. You know? Also, we have a homebrew rule for inspiration that allows you to buy rerolls on failed checks. So we might go over some of our house rules in another episode. Discussion of metagame. Did I just bring that up? Discussion of metagame details in-game will result in instant damage to your character. No. 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 What did they do to you, bro? What the fuck did they do to you? Who hurt you? Why would you do that? So if they metagame, you're going to steal their hit points.
What if you're almost dead?
I guess you're fucking dead. This guy don't give a fuck. He's made that clear. We're about halfway through. Not even. We're almost halfway through. Oh my God. That one just... That broke me, I think. Oh my God. All right. What do you... Any thoughts on that?
It sounds like the plea of D-head.
Rules lawyering fellow players is encouraged. Actuallying me will just result in me telling you to fuck off. Okay, that one I like. If I'm clearly getting a rule wrong, and you're like, hey, I don't know if you know, but this is actually how that rule works, I encourage you to correct me as well. I'm not above everyone. However, if my follow-up to that isn't conforming and is instead something along the lines of, well, I'm house ruling it for this reason, then my judgment should stand, and you should just, at that point, be okay and leave it the fuck alone. If you continue, well, the box that, then I'll start getting pissed. But that I'm sorry, that one was funny. Actuallying me will just result in me telling you to fuck off. That's funny. Alright.
How many is there?
44. We're on 21. You roll your dice within view of two players who aren't you standard. You roll them neatly and you roll them on the table. Failing to do these three things will auto-fail whatever roll you did, arguing that you are actually rolled valid when you clearly didn't is an automatic critical fail. This is another one of those where I'm kind of on this side, but Because I have a similar rule. Like, whenever you don't roll till I tell you to, and every time you roll, you have to have another player at the table witness what the roll was. And if I clearly see you trying to obstruct view or snatch up a die before we find out what, or anything like that, that would make me believe you're cheating, then yeah, you fail that check. But I don't do like critical fails. And I don't know if you really need 2 witnesses to it. I just do 1. And we roll in trays. We have a rule, if it doesn't land in the tray, it doesn't count. So. Boy, he knows we're filming, right?
No.
Why didn't you tell him?
He was upstairs.
You didn't tell him why you were coming over?
I did.
Alright. Instant death traps and mechanics are coming into place. Nope. Already out. Already cat. I don't like that. I don't fucking like that, dog. I don't fucking like that, dog. If you call these things unfair moving forward, I'm calling them unfair, fucker. I will laugh at you and tell you to fuck off and cry some more. I'm not crying. I'm going to kick you in the balls until you fucking cry, because instant death is bullshit.
Instant death about...
Like you... Tomb of Horrors. There's a trap where you walk into a room and die. No save, no nothing. He's going to be using shit like that. And if you complain about it, he's going to tell you to fuck off and cry.
In any trap?
Whichever one he decides to do that way. Meaning at any point in time, you could just die without a save. Because he decided he wanted that to happen.
About to be doing a very important...
Yeah, fuck that. I'm like... Half of me is like, fuck this guy. And the other half of me is like, what did they do to you? I need to know the story behind this list. I will not give you random magical items, and vendors will not stock them. They are meant to be rare and hard to acquire. No, sir. There are common magic items. Look in the Dungeon Master's Guide. Now, depending on the rarity, I will fucking roll to decide whether or not the location they're in has that item. But there's always a chance. That's what the rarity table's for. Stupid fuck. Random encounters in the form of random dragons or a strange, mysterious road trader or a band of goblin prostitutes isn't going to happen. Go play Baldur's Gate 3. Okay. Yeah. I don't do random dragons ever, because that's too high level monster to have a random encounter. I don't think I've ever had you guys square off against prostitutes ever. Ever. Why would you do that? If you tell them the people they're facing are prostitutes, I guarantee you at least one of your party members is going to try to grape them. At least one, every time. Every group has that one fucking creep in it. We just don't know who it is until you introduce goblin prostitutes. And strange, mysterious road trader. What's wrong with that? That sounds kind of interesting, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Be a nice little subplot.
A what?
Mysterious road trader.
What does that mean?
A person on the road that trades goods.
Oh.
But there's like a mystery to them. Something intriguing, perhaps. That sounds like it would be an interesting subplot.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with that. The dragon and the goblin hookers, I totally agree. Yeah, they wouldn't show up like that in my game, especially for a random encounter. But yeah, the road, I don't see what's wrong with that. I don't give 2 fucks what Reddit said about X or Y ruling. Oh, that's so fucking hilarious considering we found this list on Reddit. Oh, that's great. But yeah, I agree for the most part with that. Once I've set a ruling, that's the ruling. Shut the fuck up about it. And most of my players do.
Yeah.
So they're really cool. Which is why I do my best to make sure they have a great experience when we're gaming. Alright, I actually give less of a fuck about what your mates group did. What your friends group.
Oh.
I guess he's British. Yeah. If I declare a ruling, the last thing I want is for you to bitch about it because someone else's group did it different. Yeah.
Like
Then go play in that group, my guy. What is it? Saying anything to me about other players not liking me doing X or Y without them saying it directly to me will result in me kicking you out of the group. Don't use someone else to push your own agenda. Are you kicking out the person that came to you or the person that sent them to you? That's not made very clear.
What is X and Y?
Just like this or that.
Oh.
It's a placeholder.
Yeah.
But no, I think what I would do is be like, oh, okay, tell them to come and talk to me because that's not your problem. That's their problem, and they need to take it up with me, and then we can work something out.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't just kick you from the group. That's unnecessary. I do agree with don't use someone else to push your own agenda, though. But there's ways to handle it without kicking people. I'm a firm believer in once you have a reliable party, you don't kick anyone unless they do some shit that deserves kicking. We've had a few we've had to kick.
Yeah.
Alright. Matter of fact, there was one we had to kick who came back and is now my part-time editor. Jade.
Oh.
We had to kick her early on. We've talked about it on here before,
Yeah.
but she's improved a lot, which is why we let her back in. Where is it? You're not to sit down and have a 2-hour discussion about what Samson and Bundura Secondary did 3 weeks ago when you come to play. I guess those are local references I don't get. Take the 15 to 20 minutes I use to set up and review my notes to talk to each other, then sit down to play. Yeah, I'm on board with that. All right, we'll say, we'll re-edit this for America here. Don't sit down and have a 2-hour discussion about the MCU and Harry Potter, you know? Like, sit down, chill for about 20, 30 minutes, and then let's get to the game. Yeah, that's how we do.
Yeah.
We have catch-up time where we just shoot the shit, but once everyone's here and everyone, you know, we got everything set up, we're here for a reason. Let's get down to business.
Yeah.
Alright, saying shit like, guys, come on, we're not here to have fun, we're here to play D&D, this is serious business, is rude and dismissive of how much work I put into this. I will simply go home if I hear this shit. I'm kind of like, yeah, we're here to play D&D because it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we are here to have fun. Come on, dude. Like, take it seriously enough to where you're actually engaging and playing, but don't be super fucking stoically serious. It's a game. We're here to have fun. Don't fucking order food randomly. We will eat together at a specific time or not at all. I don't want food shit all over my things. Normally, everyone in my group brings their own munchies. And if I can afford it, I'll provide a group meal or something. But if you're fucking hungry and you've got the shit, eat it, bro. Because everyone keeps track of their own shit and it's not on the table. The only things I allow on the table are things for the game. Yeah. So we normally have like a little crate or side tables or something to keep snacks and shit on. So it's not really an issue for us. Alright, number 31. We're getting there.
Yeah.
No food or drinks near any of my D&D gear. I totally fucking agree. If you wreck something, you can pay for it. Yes. I let one person trash my DM screen once and never had it replaced by them. Why'd you let them trash it, my guy? That kind of makes it sound like you just sit there and watch while they rip the panels off or something. Like, if you say I let someone use it and it got trashed, that's one thing. But you're saying, like, you actively let them trash it. That's your fault, fucking dummy. In fact, I had that person attempt to gaslight me into believing they didn't wreck my shit at all. I'm not stupid. You're an adult. Accept responsibility. Yeah, I'm pretty on board with this for the most part. You think?
Yeah.
You fuck up my shit, you're going to replace it.
Yeah.
And if part of preventing that from happening includes you not keeping any of your snacks or drinks near it, then so be it. This shit's fucking expensive.
It is.
And I've got a lot of it accumulated. I've been doing this for a very long time. Almost 20 years. Alright. Arguments between party members outside of roleplay will be resolved by me giving the definite ruling. If you don't like it, fuck off back home. Yeah, normally shit doesn't get heated between players at our table. If it does, it's normally between characters, not the players. There's been a few times where we have had player-on-player negative interactions, but I normally quell that shit pretty quick. Just be like, yo, shut the fuck up. We only got so many hours left of this session, let's get to it. And that normally works. Yeah. You think? Alright. Oh, did I tell you the new game I found?
Hey.
Yeah.
My favorite one.
Yeah. The colored suits are like your classes for it's another D20 system. So depending on which color you pick is what abilities and weapons you get. It's pretty cool. I've got the PDF of the core rulebook on here. I'm looking into getting it soon. Maybe when taxes roll through. They have, if you get the GM screen, it comes with a dice tower that's Zordon. I'm like, that would be, Zordon's the big floaty head that tells the Rangers what to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would be the box of doom for that game.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're sidebarring, aren't we? Where are we at here? 33. I don't give a fuck what they did in Critical Role. Yes! Or what that one guy on Reddit said. Or if you think that it's all make-believe so you can do what you want. The world I run works on internal rulings and lore I created specifically for it. Yes! 100% agree. No issue with this one. What do you think? Like, fuck what that guy says. This is how my world works. And this is how it's going to continue to work. And you're not going to come and change my world building. I like that.
Which number you on?
33.
33.
What? Do y'all hear Hazel?
Yeah, she's over here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, over there now.
Alright. 34. Every single person in this chat is having debuffs applied to their characters that should have occurred a long time ago. This will be specific to the characters. This, I'm assuming, is a result of something the players did in a previous session. But, he says, chat, this is an online game. We don't do online games. We prefer in person. If we can't gather in person, we just don't play. With the exception, if I have like a solitary adventure that needs like one player and we can run through it in like 2-3 hours, then I might do like a Facebook video chat session game with them. Matter of fact, me and Jade did that for The Haunting. It's on the channel. But that's about it as far as virtual gaming. If I'm doing a group game, it's always going to be in person. Where's 35? If you don't bring your sheet, you don't play. I feel this so bad because there's been plenty of times where players have either lost or just didn't bring their shit, and so didn't have a character sheet. And as much as I hate having to sit there and redo the fucking character sheet with them, normally that's what I end up doing just because I want to play. And I try to make it to where every player's backstory is integral to the plot. And so if we play without them, there's a lot of shit I can't bring in that session that I have planned. But yeah, I feel that sentiment. I feel that so hard. Oh, that sounded gay. Didn't that sound gay? What do you call a gay AI? Chat LGBT. Okay. If you don't bring dice, borrow some. I have community dice. I'm a dice goblin, so I have a big ass box that's just chock full of dice that I keep out on the table. That way, if players don't have any, they can just use those. The only thing I ask is that they get put back in the box at the end of the session. So that's never a problem for us. But yeah, don't sit there and like bring up a dice app on your phone if you don't have dice. Just reach in a box and grab some of mine. When we play D&D, I'm not your friend. That doesn't mean you treat me like an enemy during the game. It means I'm no longer being nice. What do you think of this one before I go in? 37.
What does it mean, I'm not your friend?
Like, basically what he's saying is I'm not pulling no punches. I'm not going to be nice with my rulings. But, like, when we sit down to play, you're still my friends.
Yeah.
I don't play with people that I'm not friends with. But I would say I don't pull I normally don't pull punches. I will on occasion in very particular sets of circumstances. There's been a couple of times where I, as a DM, have fucked up and overestimated the players' abilities, and put them up in a combat that was just honestly too fucking much, and there was no way to avoid a TPK, and it was because I fucked up in my calculations, nothing that they did, nothing that their dice rolls did, and in those instances, I will do some editing on the fly to make it a little more handleable.
Yeah.
But that's about as far as I go when it comes to pulling punches. If it's a fair fight and you die because you fucked up or failed a roll, that just happened to you, bro. Roll up a new character. I don't know what to tell you. What are we at? 38 now? Yeah. If you treat me poorly in any way, shape, or form after or during or before the game due to something that happened in the game, you're out. If you cannot separate the game from reality, I think you are a fucking moron, and I have little time to deal with that energy. I'm on board for the most part on this one.
Yeah, I think the players are just being...
Yeah, don't hold a grudge against the person because of something that happened in the game.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
The more you read the list, the more I'm thinking it's the players.
Right? I did not say that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, what did they do to this guy to turn him into such a prick? Alright, you will submit your spell lists daily in-game. If you do not give me a spell list each in-game day, you will not be allowed to cast a single spell or cantrip in combat. I do not trust you guys to not use this against me. Okay, yeah, they've definitely done something. Because, like, I make them choose their spells and shit, pick them out, and write them out so I know what they have. But I don't make them turn in a list every day. What happens is when they prepare a spell list, they'll write it out, and at any point during the game, if I think they're trying to cast a spell they don't have, I simply have them hand that spell list over to me. I'll read through it. If it's on there, I'm like, all right. If it's not, I'll be like, you don't have that prepared. You can't cast it. Will you get her down? She's trying to get to them Legos. Hazel.
Yeah. Big Breaker inside.
Yeah. Appreciate it. The cat's trying to fuck up the Christmas presents. Alright. Sorry, y'all. This isn't really going to be edited because my editor's in Arkansas. Other than, like, I'll splice the intro in, but that's about it. Number 40. See if we can't wait for Dorian if he don't take too long. We're almost there, y'all. Alright, I can't wait too long because I can't cut out this long ass pause. So we're just going to go ahead and read number 40 while we wait. By the way, you like the new poster? I'm looking into the game. If you do not mark off spell slots or say something like, I remember what I'm at, as a way to justify it, I will simply fail your spell. Deal half your health and damage to you and say you have no spells to cast for the rest of the day. That's a little excessive, my guy. That's a bit excessive. We don't use spell slots anymore. We use spell points. It's an optional rule in the Dungeon Master's Guide. I find it allows the players to cast more spells and it's easier to track. And so that's how we do it. It's pretty cool. It's worked out so far. Yeah. You need to keep track of that and need to be honest about it. And if they're not honest about it, I'm sure I can come up with some kind of consequence. But I don't think I would go as far as dealing damage and getting rid of your spells for the rest of the day. I don't know about all that. But I already have a few house rules when it comes to spells that we use that don't really align with the PHB anyway. So, for instance, we don't use material components, and I make players roll for the spell no matter what it is, because I don't really find it fair that your martial classes have to roll for everything they do, but the spellcasters don't. So what I'll do is I'll have them roll a spell attack roll for whatever spell they're casting, and if it's, because a lot of them don't require any rolls at all, which is bullshit. And then the ones that require a spell save, what I'll do is, depending on what they roll on the attack roll to hit, I'll edit what the save is. So like, if they fail the roll, then I'm going to make the spell save DC a little lower to make it easier for the bad guys to pass. And if they pass a roll like really high, then I'll make the DC a little higher so it's harder for them to pass. If they get in that 20, the DC is just, it's gone. They don't get to roll for a save. So that's how we do that. Where the fuck is he doing? We're at the end of the list, y'all. We got 4 more of these, and then we can get to the announcement. If Dorian would hurry the fuck up. I guess while I'm waiting, hit some of these shout outs. Shout out to JPC, motherfucking homie, keeping it real. Got your almost everything for your care package together, bro. It's taken a little longer than I thought to get these dice finished up. We're having some issues, but it's coming, I promise, very soon. Shout out to Humble Among. Shout out to Ouija Mac, the Sand Clown Posse, Brennan Lee Mulligan at Dimension 20, Seth Skorkowski, all them motherfuckers. I guess I'm just going to continue. He's taking too long. I think he might be jerking his gherkin in my motherfucking bathroom again. There he is. God damn, you took forever. Buffing the bishop in my bathroom, motherfucker.
No.
We got 4 left. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Number 41. If you break literally anything, you can buy the replacement that day or not attend till you do. I'm a firm believer in if you break it, you buy it. But I don't know about, if you ain't got the money that day, that's fine. Just know you're going to fucking pay me back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the whole not attending the game or anything like that. That's a little extreme.
Yeah.
If you complain about the choice of music, I fully expect you to bring the whole playlist the next session or to shut the fuck up. We don't really do a whole lot of music during our games. Like, I'll play certain shit if it's important to what's happening in the game. Like if someone's singing a song or if there's a band playing or something, I'll play some music. Other than that, we don't really have like ambient sounds or anything going. It's all that's theater of the mind for us. Plus, I like to do sound effects. Yeah. 43. Cannot stress enough how little I care about how you feel about my rulings from now on. Yeah, they did something to him. Yeah. They fucked his whole day up. Oh, and rule 44. I'm never just threatening you. I'm promising you. What did y'all do to this man? What do you think about that?
Yeah,
this whole list in general.
Yeah, they did something bad.
That's crazy, man. I think everyone here just needs to go their own separate ways, find new fucking people to game with. Like, that's crazy. I couldn't imagine doing half of that shit. All right. We got about 4 minutes left, so we'll go ahead and get to our big announcement. Coming up, hopefully within the next month, we will be back on a 2-week schedule for a new campaign, which means new Game Diary series for you guys. We're going to be taking another trip back into the 20th dimension, and we're going to be playing Never After, which is a horror-ish 5e campaign based on the Grimm fairy tales. So, who are you going to be playing?
The frog, don't know his name.
Prince Henry, the Frog Prince. I've only got 3 players for this campaign, but we got Dwayne play the Frog Prince, Tink is playing Puss in Boots, and Strife will be playing Pinocchio. So I am working on that. I've got all the minis I need. I just ordered the rest of them last night, so they'll be here soon. I gotta paint that shit up and get all the terrain ready. My son actually helped me build a battle map for this campaign. And then I gotta start getting all my notes together. So far, the only notes I have are for locations in the world. And I have the... Would you like a sneak peek of the map?
Yes.
You can show that off, too. The little green country, Greenlee, that's your kingdom.
So what, from different parts of this?
Yeah. For instance, Tink's character is from Marianne. You're from Greenlee. Pinocchio, I think it's down here. Yeah, Amante down here. That's where Pinocchio's from. It's a small village in Marianne. But yeah, you'll be going to a few of these different places. So, here's the map for Never After. Make sure you guys subscribe so you get notifications when we start uploading this shit. It should be coming very soon. We actually just finished rolling up his character today. So, fingers crossed within like the next month or so we can start running this shit. You excited for it?
Yep.
You see, location. I got all this shit here. Oh. Anything else to add before we cut? Nope. Alright, well, yeah. Go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share this shit, get the word out. We're trying to break 100 subscribers. We're up to 93. We need 7 more. I know 100 subscribers don't sound like a lot to most YouTubers, but to us, that's fucking incredible, because we're a very small channel. We have literally 0 budget. So that would, like, make our whole fucking year. And probably won't see you again before then, so Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, motherfuckers. Woo woo.